What's up YouTube? My name's Miranda and today I am in the Cook State Park here in Pennsylvania. I am actually in the Forest Cathedral and it is absolutely gorgeous. So before I get started on today's topic, I just want to say I've never actually driven into Pennsylvania to the point where I could actually enjoy Pennsylvania for what it is. I've only ever seen Pennsylvania from the interstate. Pennsylvania is gorgeous. It is cold, but it is gorgeous. I couldn't even describe it any other way other than I am in a magical snow globe right now. And it's a little cold in the snow globe that I would change, but other than that, it's absolutely beautiful. So good morning everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about my sleep system and what I'm going to be taking with me on the Appalachian Trail and what I think about it right now, because this is, you know, gear reviews. So up until this point I've been using this system for the AT. Now I have not actually slept in the cold. I don't know if you could see my breath. It's about 30 degrees right now. It's freezing. And in my opinion, I'm not a big cold weather person. Yeah, so actually it might be about 30, probably warmed up, or probably a little closer to 35 at this point. But it did drop down last night to 29, and at least that's the lowest I saw it go, and it was cold, like holy cow. So what I want to talk to you about is the gear that I have and how that performed in such cold temperatures. Aside from the yoga mat, I bought all of this from REI. I bought it actually from the used section in the garage sale area, so I did get it all discounted, which is why I'm able to have the ultralight versions of all of this. That's how I was able to afford it. I just watched for deals on you know, what I was looking for. Everything was listed as excellent condition. I would say that is completely true, and other than the little X that they put on everything, which I don't even know where the X is on this one. I think they put the X on they put a little like silver X on stuff. But other than that, like no one's gonna know if it's used or not. And it's used really, if you buy something new, the second you use it, it's used. So I'd like to start this off by talking about my pillow. I have the Exped Air Pillow. This is a medium, ultralight. I think it comes in, it's around 2 ounces. This is probably the only thing I don't remember the exact weight of. I do not carry it with the stuff sack. So I actually just stick this in with my sleeping pad because it's small enough, and then I just have all of that together, and I think I lose like a ½ ounce not carrying the bag along with me. But this is really nice. I like that it has this curve because I'm one of those people who likes to have the support for my neck. And I just make sure that I don't blow it up all the way, so I have a little bit of squish and it's not super firm, because then it's almost like sleeping on a rock and it's really weird. But as cold as it got last night, I thought that this would be like a frozen thing, and it actually wasn't, so that was like a really nice surprise. What's up everybody? I am now in New Jersey. I was doing this video in Pennsylvania, but unfortunately my road mic here flipped, and actually you cannot hear anything I said. And while I was upset about that, it's probably for the better, because I really didn't know what I was talking about. Actually, that's not true. I knew what I was talking about, but entirely 100% correct. So, more honest. Not that I wasn't, you know, I wasn't trying to be dishonest, so it wasn't like a dishonest on purpose. It was more like a misinformed. I was misinformed. The night before last, I actually spent the night out here, and it got down to 45, and whew, it was cold. And I was in my 30 degree. I have the Magma Trail Thru 30, which is what I use for my sleep system, and this is the same one that I was using in the video that cut out in Pennsylvania. So I'm still talking about the same stuff, just a little bit more updated and different. Just a little bit more updated and a few more things that I wanted to mention. Now when I was in Pennsylvania, actually the night before I shot the video, I was sleeping in my car with my Magma Trail Quilt 30,
and while I was out there, it dropped down to 28 degrees and it was cold. Now this is rated, it's a 30. Now 30, something you should know, is when the bags have a rating, so this one is 30, it means it's the keep you alive temperature, not the comfort rating. So I knew I wasn't gonna die in it, but I definitely was not comfortable the entire time I was trying not to die. Aside from that, it did keep me as warm as it possibly could. I do love the quilt. I switched from just regular sleeping bags to a quilt because I was in a hammock, and then I went to the tent thing, which I actually officially used it for the third time in a tent last night, or the night before last. So while the other night I don't feel like this kept me as warm as it possibly could have, I do actually still really love this quilt, and I'm going to tell you why. So the Magma Trail Quilt 30 is made of 850 filled down, and it is water treated, so if it does get wet, I mean, if it gets soaked, it's not gonna hold any heat because down just doesn't work like that. But it can, like, it is a little bit water resistant, so you have a little more time and a little bit more of a window of grace with, treated down than you do with down that isn't. I do actually like the fact that we have the loops here on the edges, which are really nice because you can actually cinch this down around your, take the little loop rope here and you can hook it to the other little loop right there, and you can hook it down around your sleeping pad, and that way it actually will hold in the heat, and if you roll or move, you're not having all that drafting come through, and it's a lot cozier of an experience. The draft collar is, and I'll go over this more in my video when I get my other quilt here, but it's this little piece. So it's like the quilt ends, and then there's this little extra, and mine has this little cinch here. So what actually happens is when you put it up around your neck, you can then pull this down if it's all like buckled down on your sleeping pad, and then this just helps with drafts. So the drafts you're not losing any of your heat because it kind of acts as like a little scarf thing around your neck, and it runs, in this case, it runs the whole length of the quilt. So I was using a draft collar and didn't know it, but I do really love this piece. I just didn't know what it was called until earlier this morning. I have used this a few times, mainly in the warmer months. Like I said, the past 2 times I used it, it got down to 28 and it got down to 45. I wasn't happy with the cold toes that I got from it. Again, I am a very cold sleeper. If I haven't already mentioned that, I'm a super cold sleeper. So I do feel like, they recommend that you go 10 degrees lower than what you think you're actually going to be in. In this case, thinking I would have been in 30-degree weather, I probably should have got the 20-degree bag. However, I didn't realize at the time that I bought this that they're rated for keep you alive levels, not comfort. Now, because of that, all that being said, I did do some more research on like how to stay warm, and a lot of people suggested making sure your pad is rated for warmth, because you can have the warmest sleeping bag or the warmest quilt, but if you're on a pad that actually isn't, the R value is really low, then you're actually not going to retain heat anyway. So that brings me to my Flash REI air pad, which I am sitting on in my video in Pennsylvania. I didn't bring my little blow up bag, and I'm trying not to actually use my face to blow this up, except for emergencies. The Flash REI all season, I actually didn't even get it in here right all the way. I was in a rush one morning the last time I used it. So I gotta re-stuff it. But this is rated as a 5, so really 5 is considered, anything 6 and up is considered like frozen ground and snow. So the 5 is like for snow and cold weather, and then you get down into like the lower numbers, like a 1, 1.6, or 2, then you're in like the summer weather, and yeah, so you don't really want to take a pad that has a lower rating like that out into cold temperatures because it's not going to keep you warm. This is a 5.2, actually it says right on it, so 5.2, it's higher than I thought. What I love about this pad is it is super comfortable. It has like the little waffles, I call them waffles, and when you blow it up, it's got like the little waffle bubbles in it. it is so comfortable, honestly. And in Pennsylvania, when it hit 28, my back or my side, whichever I was laying on at the time, was the warmest part of my body, and that is because of this pad. The other night when I was out there, it hit 45. The warmest part of my body, again, was my back. So, or my side if I rolled over. Now, that has never really been the case for me. There was one time where, actually there's been multiple times where my backside has been super cold, and that's been because like I was either in the hammock without an underquilt, or an underquilt that wasn't like sufficient for the temperatures I was in, or I was laying on a different pad that wasn't super great and may have been borrowed for a camping trip that Joy and I took, and I won't say the name of the pad just because I don't want to like throw shade. They're rest. But yeah, so anyway, absolutely love this pad. I adore it. As far as the quilt, again, I adore it. However, for the colder temperatures, I will be keeping the pad, and as of this morning, I actually did replace my quilt with the new one. So did lots of research on that, and I will be making a video on that quilt once it shows up. It was a custom ordered quilt, if that kind of signals to who it was from or where I got it. And I'm super, super excited for that quilt to show up and do a review on that. If you guys have any tips for me on anything I can change or do differently to like up the warmth, aside from changing my quilt. I know I probably could have added a liner, but I'm such a cold sleeper. I just decided I might as well just, you know, jump right to the end goal and just buy myself something that was probably going to keep me warm. So guys, I really want you to share your sleep systems with me. Tell me what you're using, where you're using it, whether you've hiked the AT or you're going to hike the AT, or you're just hiking anywhere really in general. I mean, I would love to hear what you're using and what time of year it is, so we can kind of compare and contrast and get a good, get a good conversation going. And as always, I want to say thank you for spending your time with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Okay. Gotta stuff this back in the bag. Where'd the bag go? I hope it didn't blow down the mountain, because that would be super awkward.